Hello friends, and welcome to another Modern League. We're playing some Yorion taxes today with Imperial Recruiter. Light red splash, we've also got Magus of the Moon and Avalanche Riders on the sideboard. Pia and Kiran Nalaar for an army in a can, as it were. As far as the main deck goes, we've got some pretty interesting slots. Some new cards in Solitude, Kaldra Compleat. Sanctum Prelate is a card that we've seen before, but this is newly legal in Modern. We're going to try out Sword of Hearth and Home. Why not? There's also Sanctifier en-Vec. So a lot of cool new cards for us to choose from, and then some old cards we haven't seen in a while, but we're able to put together a pseudo toolbox sideboard because we have the Imperial Recruiters. And then with Yorion, we can gain quite a bit of value with our creatures, especially with Solitude. And we have the Solitude Ephemerate combo. So we're going to be able to flash a Solitude into play, Swords to Plowshares a creature, and then Ephemerate the Solitude, and Swords to Plowshares 2 more creatures. It can be pretty intense, 3 for 3. Not a great hand here. We have Giver of Ruins and then not really much of anything. I'm going to mulligan this. Well, we have the Aether Vial here. We have Solitude Ephemerate. We're going to keep. And we'll get rid of a land. Burakima, hello. Thanks for joining us. Urza's Saga. Yeah, that's a card. So we'll be able to eliminate quite a few of these tokens or what have you. Name's Giant. Okay, so we're playing against Titan. Alright, so we can play Wall of Omens, but that will take down Solitude Ephemerate for a turn. They're going to be able to go get the Amulet, float a mana, play the Amulet, and then they can play... Okay, so that's actually... They could actually have a pretty good turn here. I think we're just going to play Land Pass, just because I don't want to take down Solitude Ephemerate. Because if they're going to be going off on their turn 3 here, we can use Solitude to it's just entirely wreck them. And then we might even be able to flash in the Wall of Omens and ephemerate that, depending on how we can stack the triggers. So they play Bounce Land here. Okay, here's Summoner's Pact. So because they tapped their land and then cast this spell, they are not going to be able to undo the tapping of this land if that was something they wanted to do. They just don't have that option. Something else that we should be considering here is if we can find a way to somehow win the game by being sneaky here. And they also stacked that wrong. It doesn't matter in this case, but you should have good habits. So they've made one land drop this turn. They play Azusa, resolves. Did not get a chance to respond to that. And this is their final land drop, so they're going to be able to pay for Pact regardless. Because, yeah, they're stacking these wrong. Alright, yeah, we're gonna leave that there. We could hit it with Solitude, but, we can wait for, I don't know. Just, we don't get very good value from our Solitude here, right? We're gonna be ephemerating the Solitude, we're only gonna be getting the one creature from the opponent. As much as I would like to get rid of that, we can wait and get the Azusa and the Titan. They're not really going to be able to cast Titan next turn, though, are they? Ooh, we can print it with the Vial. Oh, that's wicked. Yeah, I like that idea. Oh, they stacked it right that time. So they do know how to do it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess then they just don't get the Titan. And we stacked our Evoke trigger properly there. They have no more land drops. They do have the 2 mana, but that's all they have. Take this up to 3. Skyclave, not bad. I think we will play the Needleverge, bring the Yorion to hand, and then hold up these 2 things. Skyclave and Ephemerate. We should just actually go ahead and Skyclave the Amulet of Vigor right here. It's pretty much the best target. Luckily it says up to, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's true. They could put down a Titan without too much effort. Fortunately, we have the Ephemerate to get the Solitude going. Another Urza Saga, so they're going to be looking for an Amulet in a couple of turns. It's not that big a deal. We're going to tick Aether Vial up towards 5, so we'll just have an instant speed Yorion ready to go. So they can make a blocker here if they want. This is actually enough mana for Titan. But no Titan. Really? Okay. No Titan. Not quite lethal. Sure. You can have a 1/1 and block one of my creatures. That's fine. There you go. So Yorion brings things back at the beginning of the next end step. So that's not going to be a great way to answer the Amulet of Vigor. We could use the Ephemerate, but opponent is not going to give us the opportunity. They have scooped him up. Can bring in Relic-Warder. Avalanche Riders, Magus of the Moon. I think that's what we want out of the sideboard. Protection from green. I mean, it gives our creatures unblockable. And the blink effect on Hearth and Home could be good. The Apparition is actually pretty good here. Opponent is going to be able to find their amulet quite often, so having the answer to it with Apparition could be important. Yeah, I would agree with that. Prelate seems pretty bad. Thalia is kind of okay, like not great. Giver of Ruins isn't too hot. Yeah, Wall is not too great. The advantage of the Wall is that it's going to allow us to draw extra cards, to draw towards something that is good. Giver of Ruins allows us to attack through things. I don't think we really want anything else out of the sideboard, though. So we're just going to have to go with what we got. Single... Nope, double land. We have double land, we have Solitude. If this were an Aether Vial, I'd be pretty interested in keeping this. As is, we just don't have any early pressure. Way worse. Alright, we'll have to keep this. Get rid of... Oh man, this hand is not great either. Grazer. Grazer has reach. And the 3 toughness blocks the Thalia. Grazer's the real champion here. Stoneforge Mystic's pretty good, though. Can go get the Compleat. Or the Batterskull. Either one seems pretty good. That's a card. It's going to let them kill us with a... with Valakut. So let's see here. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. Expedition map. Goes and gets them any land. They still haven't played a land yet, but they have to spend 2 mana to crack the map. And they don't have an Amulet yet, so I don't think I need to fear a Titan this turn, so we should be able to get the Compleat down. The thing is, we can't force the Dryad to block it, so it's just going to be swinging in for damage. Maybe we'll just draw Magus of the Moon off the top. There's 2 in the deck. 2 out of 72. I like those odds. Check, check. All right, so Urza Saga is going to get them the Amulet in no time. Oh, they got quite a setup here. Oh, the Pithing Needle. So they can name Stoneforge Mystic here, and we can't drop our equipment. If we build up mana, we can Flickerwisp the Pithing Needle and then drop the Compleat. Oh, the Recruiter. Okay. So we can recruit a thing here. Go get Magus of the Moon. Sword of Hearth and Home looks pretty good against this board, if we can get this Magus of the Moon down before they can get down a Titan. Alright, well thanks a lot for dropping by, Barikima. Have a good one. Talk to you next time. Five mana. What do you got for 5? Transmute Teleria West, holding up 2. So why'd you tap the Forest? Go get that Summoner's Pact, right? Cast Pact. Gets Prime Time. You need a green source to pay for Pact on your turn, my friend. I think we're going to get the win here. Just because we play Magus of the Moon into their Summoner's Pact. They know we have Magus of the Moon. Maybe... No, they don't have a Forest in hand. We know exactly what they have in hand. They have Titan. GG. Hey there, Slayer. Let's go ahead and get the planes. I'm quite certain that we just win here, but why not go get the planes, you know? How are you going to do it, opponent? Womp 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 womp. As they just realize now. That's right. It's lairs. All about those lairs. They're still trying. They don't understand. Oh, what's going on? My land's only top for red. How is this happening? I'm kind of wondering how long this is going to take. I think the realization is starting to set in. Magic is like onions. Okay, so opponent learned something new today. Sweet. This hand is not so great. We do have Solitude, but we don't have any way to keep the Solitude after we play it. Otherwise, we're just waiting till turn 3 to do anything, which sucks. We can't do that. I'm going to mulligan this, try and find a better hand. This is not much better, honestly. But at least we have a 2-drop, so we can put something down turn 2. Oh, did I hear the rule of thumb for 3 fairy from Aspiring Spike? I have not. What's the rule of thumb? Street Wraith to start. Street Wraith and Urza's Saga. Another Charming Prince? Get out of here. Oh, that's what I get for playing 4 Charming Prince. I guess we'll scry 2 here. Cylon Supreme, thanks for the follow, friend. If the card you are playing is cool and fun, then 3 fairy stops it. Love it. No, I understand, Cylon. I mean, we're a bunch of nerds, and sometimes, you just got to clean things up so people don't realize that you're a part of this, but I'm glad you're back. Welcome, welcome. Stoneforge is great. We'll keep one of those. Do we keep them both? Why not, right? Because we're going to play one, and then it's just going to shuffle the library anyway. Does 3 fairy stop 3 fairy? I think it does, doesn't it? Oh, here's an Emery. Alright, we'll go get Sophie. And pass back. I guess we can attack, right? Well, that is a good question, Blind. But it really depends on who you ask, right? Goes and gets a Mox Amber Brings Mishra's Bauble back. They only have one land in play. Okay, there's their second land. Oh, right, because of the Saga. Makes sense. Oh, here's Urza. So we don't have any way to take care of the Urza yet. And that is a problem. Maybe we'll draw Solitude. No luck. Okay, I guess we just put in the Compleat. And they don't know we have this. So we're just going to pass here and hold this up and hope that they make some kind of mistake into it. I mean, attacking with it is okay. They take 5, go to 9, but then this thing is tapped. Okay, so Emery is just recycling these baubles over and over. Makes sense. Draws cards, makes mana. Seems pretty good. Oh, well, thanks a lot, Hugh. I really appreciate that. Oh, those thought monitors. They're up to 8 cards in hand now. This is wicked. Opponent's doing some real cool stuff. No attacks. Makes sense. Another weapon. What we wanted was a land. So we can put Sophie onto this thing starting next turn. Give it protection from blue, and we can start smacking these things out of the air. What I really wanted was that plains here, or any land really, so I could have done that this turn, but we can't always get what we want. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is actually lethal next turn. They do have the construct to block it. And they also have 7 cards in hand and a ton of mana. Ragavan. That's getting blocked. Oh, they're not... Yeah, they can't attack with a construct. Right. Don't want to give them juice. So we'll go ahead and block the Ragavan. So they target me, so they know what we're drawing. Okay, so they're making a new construct. And we get a land. Nice. So we could actually blink the, is this only creatures? It's only creatures, okay. I was thinking we could blink the living weapon here, and then we would have the creature back to block, but it doesn't work that way. I'm thinking we probably just... what do we do with the extra mana? Well, let's see what we draw. Go to attacks with the germ. Sure. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay. Alright, so we play the Charming Prince here, blink the Stoneforge Mystic. It gives us a 2-2 instead of a 1-2, playing our other Stoneforge. And this is going to allow us to put a Batterskull into play next turn. And we can also put the Sword of Fire and Ice onto another creature, if we so choose. But the this thing here is a bit of a pain. Fortunately, it cannot target our germ. And one more land, we can actually equip the Batterskull to this germ and make a super token. Oh, cool. Glad you like it, Speardass. It was actually piloted by Miguel Castor to I think it was a very successful run in a challenge. Can't remember exactly where I found it. Germ is indestructible. It is. Okay, so they have to leave the construct back. We'll block the Ragavan. Okay, so that means we don't have the ability to put Batterskull back into play unless we draw a land here. But we could throw down Stoneforge Mystic. See what we draw. We do not get the land. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to attack with the germ. They're going to block with a construct. Alright, well thanks a lot, Ketham. This will be going up onto YouTube on Friday. So if you like, you can catch up then. So let's see here. We have Stoneforge Mystic and Charming Prince and Giver of Ruins. I kind of like Giver of Ruins and Charming Prince here. Although the Stoneforge Mystic can put the Batterskull down, which would be pretty great. But I also like, you know, Giver of Ruins potentially being able to give Germ protection from something. Can't be colorless because that would make the equipments fall off. We're going to play both of our 2-drops here, so we can potentially play the Batterskull next turn this way. And I guess, do I gain life with this? I think I scry. We could potentially be taking 5, 6, 7 here. I'm going to gain the life, see if it gets me an extra turn. I feel like I'm kind of under pressure with these thought monitors, but maybe that's wrong. Urza's going to get the thing done pretty quick, honestly. I'm kind of surprised we've been able to stick around as long as we have with the opponent's Urza on the table. Urza and Emery. Opponent has been creating a large amount of advantage for themselves. They're able to draw an extra card every turn with a bauble. Ooh, and now they're creating food tokens. So they're going to be able to remove our Stoneforge Mystic again. But really what they need to do is they need to be able to take care of the germ or one of the, yeah. Okay, they're going to go get another food book, another cookbook. That's what this is for. Yeah, you got a cookbook. I love that they can tap the food for the cookbook. That's so cool. Yep, create another food. You got it. Bring back Bauble. They got 3 cards in hand. I should just be hitting 6 on the opponent's turn here. We don't have a lot of, or rather, we still have a lot of time on our clock, but we are like 2 minutes behind on the clock. And we can't do anything right now. We're tapped out. We have no activated abilities or anything, so hitting 6 on the opponent's turn is not a big deal. If I had Solitude, I would have already done it. We would have been able to win last turn if we had Solitude. Okay, that's a good sign. Could block to kill this. Then they sacrifice 2 foods, kill the Mystic. They're going to kill the Mystic anyway. At least this way we prevent a bit of damage. And kind of force their hand. Do they have a blocker? Okay, then now we're only 1 minute behind. That is a blocker here. What is sacking the food going to do? If you're thinking do 6 damage to itself, that's not going to be enough on this. First of all, it's protection from red. Also, it's indestructible. Well, this means we can play the Batterskull. Maybe Giver plus Stoneforge would have been good to diversify your threats. Yeah, being able to put the Giver out there would have been pretty nice. We could still put Giver out. We could play Sword of Hearth and Home. This thing has Trample, so it's going to be able to hit them through this. So I think if we play Sword of Hearth and Home and equip it, I think we win. Oh, they can eat the food. Right, right, right. So yeah, that means that because they eat the food, they don't die. Okay. One, two, four, seven, eight. So that's 3, 6, 7. So yeah, we got to kill one of these monitors. Because if they eat the food and they have 2 mana left, so they have exactly enough to eat the food, then they have lethal on the crackback. What a game. Stupid black creature blocking our germ. Hey there, islands. So they get to make a ton of food here. Okay, so they kill the Giver of Ruins with the Asmo. So we don't have a blocker. Do they have a way to stop our germ, though? Oh no, that's lethal. GG. Good one. Okay, that was tough. Let's see if we can get through this. So we have Relic-Warder, Archon, Revoker could be good. Rest in Peace, Remorseful Cleric, Kataki, Magistrate. So a lot of good cards actually out of the board. It's been a long time since I've been able to play Kataki. Oh yeah. Well, when you got the Imperial Recruiter to fetch Kataki out of your deck, War's Wage definitely improves. Yeah, actually, Sanctifier does seem okay. Yeah, we do have the Yorion. I guess it's okay. We'll keep. Don't know exactly what we're going to want to name with Revoker, but we'll have a turn or two to think about it. Probably going to play the Thalia first. I mean, that's one thing we could name with it. Alright, so we'll name the Underworld Cookbook with the Revoker and pass back. No Asmo, please. So I have Skyclave Apparition. I could Skyclave the Emery. Seems okay. We can Recruiter into a Kataki. Also, they have Urza's Saga here, so we don't want to attack into that. And we do have Solitude if we need it. Are they going to make another construct? Or are they going to just add a mana? Looks like they're just adding a mana. Oh, they went to get Pyrite Spellbomb. Makes sense. That can kill the Kataki. Oh, here's a Pithing Needle. Yeah, Kataki with Revoker. There's a little bit of tension there. They're naming Sophie on the Pithing Needle. Yeah, attack seems good. Play a Stoneforge Mystic here. Go get a Compleat. Alright, so we could play the Thalia here, but if we do that, we have to discard Kataki for the Solitude. I think Thalia is pretty good, though, and it would kind of force them to use the Spell Bomb early. We can attack with the Apparition. Okay, they're going to kill the Thalia. I guess they can just bring it back with the Emery turn after turn, huh? That is a bit awkward. Maybe we're supposed to Solitude the Emery? Okay, so they get back Mox Amber here. So they don't have the Spell Bomb. Or sorry, yeah, they don't have the Spell Bomb here. That's good for us. But if they're going for the Mox Amber, then they must have something pretty special in store for us. Also, the Aether Spell Bomb is going to work pretty good on the Compleat. All right, what do we get? What do we draw for turn? I guess we got to wait for the opponent to finish their turn, to be fair. Their deck is running on very few lands. That's impressive. We're on turn 5 here. They only have 2 lands in play. I guess that is slowing them down a little bit, but this construct is doing all the work. Okay, they're going to return the Revoker, so they have access to the cookbook now. There's Asmo. All right, what do we draw for turn? Get into Recruiter. Wish I could recruit an Ephemerate, you know? If we had an extra land, we could Solitude. We could go for Kataki here, plus Revoker. And then we could... Oh, we can't Solitude if we play the Kataki, though. We need another white card in hand. I mean, we could Recruiter for a white card, but then we can't play the Kataki this turn. We're just in a really awkward position, that's all, because of the cards in our hand and the mana. Came down to an awkward spot. Oh, what? They had the Galv Blast all along? Yeah, exactly. Now they should be able to... Oh, I figured they could kill the Skyclave Apparition and then just win the game. Why let us block? Maybe you're going to do it now? There you go. So we'll start with 7. We don't have a turn 1 play, but we can start playing cards turn 2. Oh no, they have a Gemstone Cavern? Yep, okay. Sacred Foundry tapped, go. Opponent with the Lucky Cavern. No fun deck ever rigged Gemstone Cavern. Yep. Opponent isn't looking for us to have fun, that's for sure. They didn't use it at all at the first turn, so turn 3 is going to be scary. Oh, Aether Vial right on time. Cascade into Rhinos? Makes sense. Wave Sifter with Evoke. And then they Ephemerate it. No, they just make 2 treasures. Okay, 2 mana, 2 treasures, you got it. Or clues, sorry, they make clues. Totally different thing. Yeah, I don't know either. So I don't really know what I want to recruit here. Maybe Magus of the Moon? We could recruit Magus of the Moon. That would probably be good. And if we want to, we can Ephemerate the Recruiter later. Hexar thinks Prelate. What, Because, yeah, we'd have to name a number, and I don't know what number I would name against the opponent's deck. but get a little bit more information, and maybe I will. We'll have the Ephemerate for it later anyway. Magus of the Moon. Oh, naming 0 versus any deck that looks like this. Makes sense. Okay, there's the Cascade. So here comes some 4/4s. Oh no, Glimpse of Tomorrow. Shuffle all permanents you own into your library, then reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Oh wow. That is terrifying. Okay. So yeah, that's why they're playing Wave Sifter. Who's 19-1 with what? Black-White Sewer? Anyways, yeah, here's Emrakul. So yeah, we didn't have the time, but naming 0 is definitely going to be the way to go. Unfortunately, we cannot recruit Solitude. It's too big. So do we have anything that answers Emrakul? I don't think so, huh? Glasspool only targets things on our side. Could Flickerwisp it, but it comes back. Yeah, I don't see any way to answer or resolve Emrakul in the main deck. So I think we have to scoop this one up. We do have 4 apparitions, but I mean, apparition isn't going to hit. Yeah, but Flickerwisp can't be recruited either. Anyway, let's see, what do we got? Like the Magistrate. Bring in the extra Magus, bring in the Archon. So yeah, I think we want to bring in these 3 cards. So we only have to take out 3 cards. Definitely want to keep the Prelate, want to keep the Magus, want to keep the Solitude. So I like the Charming Prince so we can scry. Thalia seems good. Stoneforge is okay. Giver of Ruins is on the chopping block. I think Giver's probably our worst card in this matchup. Oh wait, actually take the cards out before you submit. Come on, man. So we have a 1-land hand with no vial. Let's mull. And we'll keep this. Probably just get rid of a land here. The Emeria's Call is a white card, so we can exile it with Solitude. So we'll keep those in our hand for later. So that we can potentially exile a spaghetti monster. Giver of Ruins. The only one in the deck. Let's scry 2. Not a fan. The Ephemerate is okay. Ephemerate plus Solitude is fair. Let's go bottom top. Don't expect a block here. It's just 2 damage. Okay, we'll play Giver of Ruins and pass. I want to keep up Solitude Ephemerate here. This is going to be the turn. Turn 3. But they don't exactly have a lot of permanents on the board here, so they're probably not going to want to go for it this turn. They're going to want a fairly wide board before they try and cash it in, unless they switched their 0-mana spells. Because they could have gone for a transformative sideboard. Okay, yeah, here's the Shardless Agent. Let's see what they get. Okay, it is Glimpse of Tomorrow again. We'll let that resolve. They get a Wave Sifter. Okay. So they're going to want to go ahead and do that again, basically. So we could get rid of both their critters and put a Solitude down, but then we are leaving ourselves open to whatever they're going to do. The problem is they have a faster clock than us right now. Ooh, the Thalia, though. Unfortunately, if we play the Thalia, we can't play the Ephemerate. Guess we could have played the land here. That probably was the play. Because here they can just attack us and they win this race. Maxi on TTV, thanks for the follow, friend. See, because they don't even have to do anything from this point. They just have to swing in, attack every turn, and they're winning this game. Thanks for the luck. Okay, here's another Violent Outburst. So they're going to switch up all their permanents again. Oh my. So Iona finishes the game too, because they just say we can't cast white spells, and now I can't Solitude the Emrakul. GG. Oh yeah, this hand looks great. Ephemerate plus Skyclave Apparition. That's a combo. Oh, so that was you what made that comment, Donut? Yeah. You got to RTFC. Read the full card. Oh my. Force of Negation for the Aether Vial there. They did not want that to resolve. Willing to 2-for-1 themselves to get rid of the Vial. Oh, I definitely understand that there, Donut. Haven't changed any of my usernames in quite some time, but they're pretty much all Cooper the Red, so keeping it consistent. Looks like another 0-mana deck. Oh, look at this! They have ice! Yeah, we're not getting any mana this turn. I guess we'll just play the Vantage Pass. Keeping us off of playing spells here. What do they got for their turn 3? Probably Cascade Rhinos, I think so. That definitely was an option there. I wanted to get this Vantage down, but we still had another turn to play it. I was kind of thinking like, maybe we'll draw another Vantage, and then this way we don't have to have a tapped Vantage. I guess we go get Recruiter here, right? Either that or play Mystic, go get Compleat. We could play the Mystic and then we have Ephemerate, so we can Ephemerate the Mystic and go get like all of our equipment. How many rhinos? 8 rhinos. Alright, Sophie looks pretty good against what they're doing. Compleat looks pretty good all the time. Let's go get Sophie. We have the Ephemerate to go get the other equipments. What did they pitch? Subtlety. Okay, here's the Outburst. So that's going to get them some rhinos, I expect. Yes, indeed. Crashing Footfalls. Pair of 4/4s. And they have Trample, so if we block Ephemerate, that's not going to do much. It's time to say, I told so. Knew it from the start. all along. Well, I've definitely seen it a few times recently, so people are definitely into it right now. Let's go get Batterskull. Uh-oh. This is a counterspell. You got 3 4-1s in a row with Rhinos? Nice. I'm definitely going to have to give it a try. Oh, Fire Ice again. So that kills our Stoneforge Mystic, nullifying the Ephemerate. Get destroyed. Of course, Skyclave Apparition does nothing versus tokens. So our hand is kind of garbage right now. Let's get Recruiter, and we can go get, thinking... Oh no, did we take Flickerwisp out? We can't get Flickerwisp with Recruiter, that's the problem. Flickerwisp is in the deck. We just can't get it. Yeah, the meta shifts pretty quickly. People start to pick up a deck, it looks cool, more people pick up the same deck. Okay, if they have another Fire Ice, we're dead. Although, honestly, we're dead regardless. Okay, get crushed. Let's try this again. Bring in the Magistar. Another Magus of the Moon. Archon for sure. Yeah, 3 Fire Ice. I mean, that's basically their interaction, right? They can't have 1s and 2s. So Fire Ice kind of gets around that in a way, since the mana cost is technically 4. So we brought in this. And this. And this. Actually, I kind of like Hearth and Home here. Protection from green could be nice. Flickerwisps we want to keep in. Skyclave Apparitions actually seem kind of poor in this matchup. Okay, well, turn 2 Magistrate. We have Solitude. We're going to keep this. We can even make a second Magistrate with a Glasspool Mimic if we need to. Magistrate can't be killed by Fire Ice. Wonderful. So opponent does not have the lucky land. So can we wait till turn 3 to play the Magistrate? I don't think they'll have any way of having 3 mana on turn 2. So we could put down a more traditional Stoneforge this turn. Maybe we want to make sure we get the Magistrate down so they don't like tap our land and just make everything terrible forever. Yeah, I'm going to play the Magistrate this turn so we don't get Fire Iced next turn and just don't have the ability to. And we'll leave up Giver of Ruins to keep it protected. I don't think they're going to have something because they don't have a Braid, they don't have Lightning Bolt. But they could potentially have... what is the adventure there? What do we call that? Blue and 1, return a permanent. Petty Theft, I think. Yeah, exactly. The spell side of Brazen Borrower. Okay, they have Stomp. Yep, that's going to take care of the Giver of Ruins, all right. What do we draw? Because if we play the Stoneforge Mystic, we don't have access to Solitude. I think we're just going to have to take that risk. What do we do about the Glasspool Mimic? We just play that as a land here? I'm going to go get Sword of Hearth and Home. And I'm going to be looking at putting the Compleat into play next turn. No lands for the opponent? Oh, that's unfortunate for them. I would say so. Dark Shrooms? I would say so. Okay, we have Solitude ready if we need it. Okay, opponent not ready to concede yet. And they're going to scoop to the Sword of Hearth and Home equipped onto the Magistrate. Okay. I don't think we want to change anything in the deck here For the draw as compared to the play, I think we're just going to resubmit as is. Oh, I do still have my Critical Role emotes. Wonderful. Single land hand. Not interested. Although the Thalia would be nice. Prelate on the play would have been pretty good too. Okay, so looks like they're starting with 7. We are mulliganing. I guess we keep this. And we get rid of Compleat. Because, I mean, there's no way we're going to cast that without a Stoneforge. And if we get a Stoneforge, we can go get it. Okay, looks like we're going to be a little bit slow. Oh, and they even have Crashing Footfalls, just regular suspended. Solitude, not bad, not bad. Solitude with Charming Prince can do some interesting things. Oh, they're developing quite well on their side. I think we're going to be crashed in just a minute. Really going to be looking for a Thalia here. Oh, wow, they're taking the Aether Vial off the table. Brutal. Another land. So we can play Charming Prince or we can play Vial again. I'm into playing the Vial here. And then if we get another turn, we can play Magus. This is their big turn 3. See if they can put 10 power onto the board here. Oh, wonderful. They miss. Oh, that is so good for us. I guess they will have Fire Ice for Magus of the Moon, so they can still play through it. But let's put it down. And if they don't have Fire Ice in hand, then they won't be able to Cascade next turn. Okay, we're in the end step, and they have Stomp. Okay, bye-bye Magus of the Moon. Crashing Footfalls are about to go off. And they just pass again. Okay. So we can do some cool stuff with Solitude and Charming Prince, because the Aether Vial is going up to 2 here. Unless they have another Petty Theft on the Aether Vial. That would be a pain. Ice. Tap target permanent, draw a card. Yup. That works. We get Flickerwisp. Nice. Yorion Cooper, really? Yup. Every once in a while, I like to have a little bit of fun. It doesn't have to be the best deck in the format every day. Kind of like just putting the Yorion into hand here. We have the Solitude as an instant if we need it. And then next turn we can Solitude, Flickerwisp, get rid of their tokens. Yorion and having fun, name a less iconic duo. No problem with the taxes part. Yeah. Taxes is fine. It's just the 80 card main that Ekros has a problem with. I understand that sentiment. Okay, so these things don't get haste. Because with suspend creatures, they usually have haste, right? Oh no, they're returning the Aether Vial. Another petty theft. I wanted that vial, so that sucks. Just keep on crushing my dreams over and over. Stoneforge Mystic. Well, I think we're just going to cast Solitude. And then we can start like flickering it and Charming Princing it over and over and just take their tokens out. Or we could just like Flickerwisp a token and play Stoneforge. That's probably the best play. Sword of Hearth and Home? Why not? Give our creatures protection from green. Make them too big for their stomps and fires to kill. Being able to blink Solitude turn after turn after turn would be game-breaking. Sure, we'll take 4. So they got the extra land now. So this is where they can start throwing rhinos onto the table. They might want to wait till our end step to do it. Another Aether Vial. So I could put Aether Vial into play if I tapped the Mystic to cast the Sword, and that way it also can't be countered. Do they have some sort of spell? They do. Okay, they're going to... Yeah, stomp. Okay, again, we still have Solitude if we need it. Maybe we should have just got Batterskull there. Magus of the Moon. Oh, that would be pretty good. But play the Magus, put the sword onto the Magus, and then we still have Solitude. So this would take them off green mana. Hey, thanks, Chuck. Oh my, Cryptic Command targeting or countering the Magus. Is it just counter draw? Counter draw, yep. I mean, it's a 3/4 blocker, but we can attack with it, and then we can blink it and go get Compleat, and we still have Solitude up. Or maybe we go get Batterskull. Would have been nice if we had one more mana, so we could have had a nice block here. Oh, we're actually going to get an Aether Vial at 2? Oh my god! Not bad. So now we have the Thalia to discard to the Solitude. Not bad at all. We can play Batterskull, put Sword onto Batterskull, and then we have Solitude and Charming Prince up. Okay, pass turn. We could cast the Thalia, and then we have Solitude Charming Prince. Because I don't mind discarding the Yorion to Solitude. And then whatever they're doing is a little bit harder if we have a Thalia on the board. You'd pitch the Thalia? Alright. Yorion is pretty good. 4/5 flyer. Blocks rhinos for days. Yeah, that's true. Blinks the Prince, Stoneforge Mystic, and Solitude, which would be incredible. Yorion is obnoxious, that's why you hate it? I like having something extra to do with my mana. With Death and Taxes, I found quite often I'd be sitting here, I wouldn't have much to do. Having access to Yorion has been pretty good. I don't like this Force of Vigor, not one bit. Nothing I can do about it either. I don't have any way to put the Yorion into play, so I just have to lose the Batterskull and the sword. Sucks. Charming Prince flickers a creature, not an artifact. Okay, so I guess we Solitude here. Don't want to just take 2 from a Bone Crusher or an Ice, or sorry, Fire Ice. Oh no, Subtlety. It was evoked. Getting rid of a Force of Negation. Prince the Stoneforge Mystic, yep. Put it on top. If we Prince the Stoneforge Mystic, then we lose the creature. But I think we have to do something. Play Prince, gain 2, or 3 actually. Not the worst actually, I kind of like that. Yeah, it does have Trample. We're going to 8, and then we'll take 4. And Yorion can... Between Yorion and... hopefully we'll be able to get through this, but not looking great here. And opponent just passing instead of playing these cards. I guess they got the Brazen Borer. We're ready to go. If we could play Yorion, that would just be amazing. So let's see here. We play Solitude, and we get hit by the Brazen Borer. I think the Yorion is just going to be the better play here. Unfortunately, we won't have them anything in hand for Solitude at that point. No, we don't, unfortunately. That is a good point, and that's something we should be playing with Solitude. I'll keep that in mind for next time. I wanted to try out the Sword of Hearthenholm, but that should definitely just be the other thing. The Maul. And another Cryptic Command, so that's a loss. GG. Hard fought, good games. Yeah, we'll keep this. No kidding. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Ekros. I find that I'm definitely ignorant of a lot of people in the community. So I'll be playing against faces and I don't even know it. Yeah, Maul is better than Hearth and Home for sure. But if you're going to do it, this is the deck for it. Oh, but the Ephemerate now. Triome. Breeding Pool. I wonder how good this Magus of the Moon is going to be. Well, they're not going to have Domain, so I guess pretty good. So you're telling me you got Glasspool Shore, Inspiring Vantage, and Magus of the Moon? Get out of here. Aww. They ruined my fun, chat. Could you play another creature so I could Solitude Ephemerate, please? Batterskull. So if I play Charming Prince, I can gain the life, and then I'll still have mana for... Oh, but I won't have the white card for Solitude, so I gotta keep the Charming Prince in hand. Also stops Tribal Flames from killing Magus. I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking, okay, well, if they have both, they can kill Magus, but otherwise they just can't. That is another creature. Okay. Play one more, maybe? Maybe you play one more creature? There we go. It has Hexproof if it's blue. Okay, so Vigilance if it's white, First Strike if it's red, and Trample if it's green. So nothing has Hexproof. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you're right. I should have done it in the beginning of combat. That's my bad. Because now they get to rummage. So, yeah, absolutely. Small mistake here. Should not have let them attacked. Let's do it again. Opponent's at... Oh, you're right. Opponent's at 20 now. Ah. Ah. How terrible. Companion mechanic is still good. Oh, the lightning bolt. Well, they can't cast it. Thalia. And if they attack with this, we'll let it happen. No combat. That's fine. We get the land, so we can cast the Batterskull now. Looking to be in a pretty strong position. And we hopefully get to Yorion next turn. Let's see what the opponent does with their turn here. Okay, so they're going to start off with a lightning bolt at Thalia. That works. Freeze up their mana a little bit. Now they have Tribal Flames on the Germ, sure. But we're going to be able to Yorion the Batterskull if we want. Or we can just put the Batterskull onto the Solitude and give it double lifelink. Yeah, I think we just Yorion, get rid of their Bloodbraid Elf, and make the Batterskull good again. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, you'd equip? Yeah, that's probably better. But we're in this situation now, so we're going to do it. From the crypt, hello. Thanks for dropping by, and thanks for the bits, my friend. Don't know why my notification didn't go off there. Maybe my volume's a little bit too low. Should be fine because we can put the Batterskull onto the Yorion and just smack for 8 lifelink in the air turn after turn. Yeah, opponent scoops him up. Alright, so we're playing a creature deck. Champion looks like it's going to have protection from their deck. Magus of the Moon looks good. Pia and Kiran Nalaar looks fine. I mean, Sanctifier would have protection from some of their creatures and also from Lightning Bolt. So, seems okay. I think that's all that I would really care for out of the sideboard. So we got 4 cards to look at. Hearth and Home is fine. Sophie is fine. All the equipment is fine. Solitude is good. Maybe take out the Mimic. Apparition's really good. Prelate is kind of so-so. We could Prelate on 2, and then they can't Tribal Flames. So we'll put Prelate over in the maybe column. I like the Charming Prince more than the Flickerwisp. Opponent doesn't really have tokens. Thalia's pretty good. Giver of Ruins is pretty good. Wall of Omens is pretty good. So yeah, we don't have a ton of cards we want to take out in this matchup. Alright, I guess we don't really need the Sanctifier on en-Vec. I was mostly looking at it because it had protection from red. But they're not going to be abusing their graveyard, I don't think. And I don't think Sanctifier is going to be better than a Flickerwisp. It might be, though. The pro-red might be better than a 3/1 flyer. Just so we can, like, block their creatures. Single land. Must mow. Better. Keep this. Probably get rid of Flickerwisp. We have the Ephemerate for the Skyclave Apparition, so that could be pretty good. Get rid of a 5/5, give them a 2/2. Get rid of a 4/4. But we're going to have to get there first. Opponents on the play, so they should be able to put up some serious pressure very quickly. They start off with the Ignoble Hierarchs. They're going to be able to slam a 3-drop next turn. Imperial Recruiter could be interesting. I would like some lands off the top, though, deck. Untapped, if you please. Actually, at this point, I think all of our lands come into play untapped. Oh, what is this? Hexproof from Monocolored. Terrifying. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4/4. Wow. That's a problem. And we don't have any kind of answer. It has hexproof from multicolored, so we could still block it. Bing bong. All right, Blarto. What do you got? Got a lot of mana. So you could definitely throw down here. Thalia's not going to be taxing you too hard. Gazmon has a cousin named Blarto. Okay. Yeah, it never needs to attack with it. It would be a mistake to attack with it on this board. Yeah, this is basically just sitting back and accruing value. Army in a can here. Mantis Rider plus a Giant. So that's 4 in the air. We do have Skyclave to get rid of the Mantis Rider this time. Ruh-roh. Yeah, we're in trouble deep here. So we can give the Thalia protection from Colorless and allow it to block the Golem. Golem is red and white? Oh yeah, it does have the, it's an artifact creature that's red and white. Okay, thanks for letting me know. That is important. Teriel Tau... Oh no! Opponent is doing their thing. This human soldier, creating all these giant golems. Wicked tech. So you could like maybe hold back this one turn and then crush turn after this. We got Recruiter, but Recruiter's not going to be too good now that the opponent already has this obscene board. We could Ephemerate the Skyclave Apparition, start getting rid of some of their stuff, but we still don't get rid of the this thing, which is the main problem. And we start giving them more tokens. They're just going to be able to overwhelm us, right? Because of the Thalia, we don't have mana for Ephemerate, so we might as well just cast another Giver of Ruins and pass back. Don't expect to be winning this game, but we still have one more game left. Ooh, that's a problem too. So it gives a bunch of their creatures trample. Don't like that. This is probably just game over at this point. Our creatures are no match for theirs. Oh, is the Hierarch attacking too? Hilarious. So much damage. That's 9. 9 plus 4 is 13, so this is still Xaxes. No, this is not going to work. All right, let's try again. One last try. I mean, not a huge fan of this hand, right? We get Apparition for whatever they're doing, then we get Pia and Kiran, which is okay. Well, we have the Magus of the Moon, so let's keep this. Although we don't actually have any planes. Kind of want to mulligan this again. We have the Magus of the Moon, but that's not good until turn 3, and we don't have any white mana. Alright, this is a little bit better. We have Aether Vial. We can still Skyclave, hopefully, on turn 3. We'll get rid of Kaldra Compleat and maybe the Ephemerate, although Ephemerate's pretty good with Apparition. Alright, we're going to keep the Ephemerate, get rid of the 2 equipments. Alright, our opponent is mulliganing to 5 as well, or at least 5, if not further. Okay, so they're staying there. Plains, Aether Vial, go. Sword kills... Ooh, good point. Okay, that's going to be good to know. Sword is a colorless source, so it is not monocolored. Haha! Yeah, opponent's very fair. Yeah, we'll play a champ. And now if we can wait for the Aether Vial to get up to 3, we have Skyclave plus Ephemerate, which will get rid of 2 creatures without giving them a token. Because the Skyclave Apparition has 2 paragraphs of text. Cindervines. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's terrifying. That'll get rid of Aether Vial if we let it, so hopefully we draw a land here. We do not draw a land, so Cindervines is going to be able to get rid of the Aether Vial. Well, maybe they're going to want to keep the Cindervines here for an equipment. Maybe they won't kill the Aether Vial, but they probably will. Panda Ninja, hey hey. Scalding Tarn, leaving them with 4 cards left in hand. Which is twice as many cards as we have right now. Gonna be feeling okay if we can get this Aether Vial up to 3. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that is not what we wanted to see. Thalia. We can get rid of the Cindervines, yep. Unfortunately, the Ephemerate's not going to do too much good here. I guess we just go ahead and play the Thalia. Attack for free, protection from red, and Giver of Ruins can give something protection from red if they try to attack, but they won't. We have the Thalia back here, so Thalia can just block the General for free. Okay, I like the pass here. Do we leave the Aether Vial on 3, or do we start ticking it up towards 5? I'm going to leave it at 3. Charming Prince? Charming Prince doesn't do too much. Well, let's attack in with all. Leave the Giver of Runes back. So if they have any kind of tricks, we can give a creature protection. Okay, smack them for damage. Nice. Let's put down Charming Prince. And we'll scry 2. See if we can find like some land or something. We don't really have anything good to exile with the ability. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic. I like that. The Solitude is so-so, especially with the Ephemerate. We like both of these things. Top. And we can start ticking the Aether Vial up to 5 now. And it'll be at 5 when we draw Solitude. Lightning Bolt the Giver of Ruins. Yep, that works. They're down to 6 now. Tribal Flames on the Skyclave Apparition, giving them a 2/2 illusion, which can block the champion. So we can still attack with Thalia on this board. We can attack with Charming Prince if we don't mind losing it. And we do also have the Ephemerate. You can't play Stoneforge, though, if you want the... that's true. That's very true. So we should have drawn them the other way. We can attack with Thalia. Yeah, let's attack with the first strike creature. They could potentially... No, they wouldn't have a multicolored spell because of Thalia. Good point. Good point, Blind. Could have a pump spell there. Is the domain pump spell an instant? It's not something I look at too often. Okay, so they can smash in for 3 this turn. Don't think there's any reason not to attack with the Mantis. I guess you could attack with the Illusion if they wanted. Just for 3, yep, we take this. That's true, Champion can block a Golem. And opponent has 0 cards. Okay, so we have Aether Vial for Solitude plus Ephemerate. So we probably get rid of Mantis Rider and Golem and attack with Thalia. Or do we wait until their turn to do the Solitude thing? Unfortunately, they're gaining life, right? Because we Solitude the Golem, then they go up to 11 and they don't have to block. And they can just, like, block Champion with Illusion. Oh, all of these cards are so good. Kaldra's good. Absolutely. Sophie would also be good. But Sophie we would have a hard time putting it down and equipping it. We could do one or the other. With Kaldra, we can get the Stoneforge to put it directly into play. So this is going to be Always Know, Always Yield. Yeah, Sophie on Solitude would have been pretty nice. Germ is strong. Germ is a 5/5 first strike, haste, indestructible. And opponent scoops him up. So we get our 50 play points back, which is nice. 2 out of 3, or 2 out of 5 rather. It is what it is. At least we got our play points back up to 100, so we can play another league later. Let's see here. As someone who has only played 60 card D&T, can someone explain the reasoning behind playing Yorion? Is it that the deck has a critical mass of cards we want to play? So basically, as far as my understanding goes, it's kind of like the Death and Taxes player's extra deck. So you play like your standard 60 cards, your Death and Taxes, you really love it, but you want a little bit of variety, you want a little bit of spice without going too far outside of your comfort zone. Put Yorion into your Death and Taxes list. You get to slot in a whole bunch of fun and interesting cards, and then here's the kicker. Yorion's really good. So I've found quite often in Death and Taxes, I'd be sitting there with nothing to do. So with Yorion, at least when you have those nothing to do turns, you can put Yorion into hand, and then if you have a board when you cast Yorion or slam it into play with an Aether Vial, you can really start to accrue some serious advantage.